to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. President William Ruto is acting in serious panic. And in Statehouse, I think all the strategies and meetings that are being convened ahead of 2025 is just how can we get back Central Kenya. A region that voted for the president to the last man. The president is shocked just within 2 years of power, the region is running away from him. And contrary to a narrative that people peddle around, that William Ruto can easily make it to second term minus Mount Kenya, I tend to believe that those who peddle that are just but opportunists. Today, more appointments have been done, and in this podcast, I'm going to explain to you why the president is in serious rush, acting in panic to make sure that Kenya Kwanza administration is flooded by Mount Kenya luminaries. This will be very interesting podcast for you. Make sure you don't miss and watch to the end. But remember, we are supporting this month. We have an urgent appeal for Charles here. Charles collapsed 3 weeks ago, was rushed to the hospital and put on oxygen. Now, the bill has gone high to 290,000. The reports we've gathered is that he doesn't have a very strong support system in Nairobi. He's actually admitted in Radiant Hospital and has not been able and cannot be able to manage his sickness because when he was taken, he was diagnosed of meningitis. Apart from meningitis, he also have an underlying condition I will want to keep for confidentiality. But then that has made the medication very, very difficult. We are really praying that God will come and healing will be his portion. As Team Bold, I'm reaching out on behalf of Charles that we raise money so that we can be able to cover half of that bill, that is around 150,000, and then get around 35,000, which is the cost of Red Cross, to take him back home in Seme. Why Seme? He doesn't have a support system here. So what the position that is best suited for him is if he's taken there, he has their only brother back at home who can now help him manage. When he's taken to the nearby hospital, then his condition can be managed from there, because from this end, it is not going to be viable for Charles. So kindly, let's support to what we can do. We've done already 54,900, and I believe that the target of 200,000 is achievable. Huku tunasema kidogo kidogo ujaza kibaba.
Na nilikuwa naomba usaidizi, nisaidiwe. Hospitali hii mahali niko nishatibiwa, kweli wameshanitibu. Sasa pesa imepanda 290. Sasa wanataka kusimamisha matibabu. Sasa naomba kama inawezekana, kama inaweza badilishwa, ni badilishwe, kwa sababu hakuna matibabu inaendelea. Ndio.
Kindly, let's come through to support this appeal so that Charles can be taken home on Monday ahead, even before Christmas. I understand even the doctors are heading on strike. So it's really of interest, really, really urgent that we support Charles. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to go through the names of those who have been appointed today by the president. And you will understand the difference between those appointed from Mount Kenya and other regions. In a notice on Friday, former Gatanga Member of Parliament Peter Kenneth, a very senior member from Mount Kenya, has been appointed the chairperson of Kenya Bureau of Standards, KEBS. Ruto also appointed Iria as the chairperson of Public Procurement and Regulatory Authority. If you look at Peter Kenneth and Mwangi wa Iria was the former governor for Murang'a, and he did not vie in 2013, in 2022, and of course, he was also a strong member of Azimio la Umoja. Same with Peter Kenneth, who was also a strong member of Azimio la Umoja and also comes from Mount Kenya. If you look at the caliber of those two leaders, compare with others, Nur Yaro Gabo has been appointed to handle the Consulate General for consulate to be formed in Haiti. Kenya is going to form his embassy in Haiti. Atur Osia as also secretary to the head of public service, that is secretary to Felix Kosgei. Then Gerald Nyaoma Arita, deputy governor of Central Bank of Kenya, that is from Kisii. Professor Adam Solo, Raila Odinga's think tank, will be advisor for strategy and communications, and Dr. Silva Okumu Kasuku as governance and advisor. Others are retired Major General Ali Mahat Somane, advisor on security affairs in the office of the National Security Advisor. Joe Owaka Ager, secretary for governance. Oguda Oboda as managing director of East African Portland Cement. Douglas Murray Kaibos, CEO, Central Rift Valley Water Development Agency. And the others that are here, you can count others. Now, those are the ones. If you look at the names I've given you, you'll bear with me that the two fellows of Peter Kenneth and Mwangi wa Iria are very senior politicians from Mount Kenya. In other regions, William Ruto is speaking low profile fellows for appointments. But when he goes to Mount Kenya, he's speaking the rank and file. William Kabogo, Nderitu Muridhi, look at now Mwangi wa Iria, Peter Kenneth, Kendi Gitura. These are politicians that are being recycled back into the system. And today I want to explain what is the panic rush, why Mount Kenya is really being hurried back to government. And I'm intentionally using the word hurried back to government because I think I realize that what the president has actually known is it is a matter of urgency that Mount Kenya is taken back to government. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos. And we are also supporting, to this point, we are supporting Charles so that hospital bill can be covered halfway and then we can also get money to transfer him home. There are 6 reasons William Ruto is in panic mode to inject the Kikuyu nation in Ruto in his administration. The first one is a narrative, the sinking, unbeatable narrative that Rigathi Gachagua is taking them out of government. When you look at several analysts and several political commentators from Mount Kenya, they are saying unequivocally, unrelenting, unapologetically that whoever is joining Ruto administration is joining on his individual capacity. But Rigathi Gachagua is out there. And I think Mount Kenya and these fellows, if they are being planted to attack Rigathi, then that would be a wrong reason for them. They should actually thank Rigathi Gachagua because they are beneficiaries of Rigathi impeachment. One thing that Ruto wants to achieve is to isolate that Rigathi axis. Someone may want to start thinking and wondering, why should I follow Rigathi Gachagua? What does he have now? Some of these politicians, those positions that have been given are just ceremonial. The chairman of KEBS, to my end, they're not salaried positions, by the way. I know Mwananchi may not see. They're not ones that you can attract even. They're just deals, position for deals. And in fact, it is a big trap. Some of these fellows that are being given such positions of chairman of regulatory authorities, the KEBS, the procurement and all that, those are positions that the only advantage they have, they don't attract huge salaries or even huge allowances. But there are places that if you can use, you can be able to wheel deal government, get huge tenders, run, get to mingle and make deals. And I can tell you, if these fellows are going to be involved in slim or any sort of corruption, they're going to be exposed more than ever before. And so the rush is a card to show regarding Gachagua that if you're not in government, you're out. And I can tell you, as this is going on, Moses Kuria is busy with attending funerals in Mount Kenya, castigating Rigathi, that Rigathi is taking Mount Kenya to opposition. And this is, and I'm so keen to wait when these fellows will be going now back to Mount Kenya to campaign, the kind of message that they will be sending. Will they be telling people that they are in government? And to, of course, what is the impact of Peter Kenneth in KEBS to a mwananchi in Gatanga? No correlation. Even when Mwangi wa Iria is the chairperson of procurement and regulatory board, what is the impact of that position to mwananchi in Murang'a? No need. You cannot see. You also need to see that in Murang'a, the Kendu Gutura was picked from Murang'a, Peter Kenneth from Murang'a, Mwangi wa Iria from Murang'a. William Ruto is really struggling to solve a political equation. And that brings me to point number 2. The reason you will see the ones that are being brought are the dynasty politicians. The politicians are being recycled. There is a story here that in 2017, it is William Ruto that rigged the UDA, the Jubilee Party nominations. And that is why politicians like even Kavogo did not get the ticket to run for governor in 2017 because he wanted to fix his 2022 politics. So he actually pushed them to the periphery so that by the time he will be campaigning for 2022, he reduced the threats. His threats by that time were the likes of William Kabogo. Now, what has happened here is this. After 2 years in Kenya Kwanza administration, UDA MPs that were defending government and after flopping in the National Assembly, their popularity is waning, is going down. They are no longer going to talk about Ruto administration. And what Ruto has realized is that the members of parliament cannot be trusted political mouthpiece in 2027. And what he's doing, he's bringing the new crop as the campaign machineries. I can tell you, they'll be given huge tenders, they'll be given monetary fortunes and very great opportunities so that Ruto can win their patronage. Ruto can win their loyalty. They will be fattened to an extent that in 2027, they will be singing in Mount Kenya, Ruto Tano Tena. Because the MPs, look at Murang'a. Murang'a, they had 2 cabinet secretaries, Nduguna Ndungu and Alice Wahome. Now as we talk, it's only Alice Wahome who is there. Ndindi Nyoro, who was a strong defender of President Ruto, has gone quiet. And even throughout Rigathi Gachagua impeachment, he has gone quiet and he is no longer defending President Ruto in media or even in other public, in his individual public and bench engagements back in Kiharu. And if you ask me, I think Ndindi Nyoro have decided that he's not much interested in the national politics and is being groomed to take over from Irungu Kang'ata. But there is never even attacking Irungu Kang'ata. If you ask me, that is what I see. So what Ruto has realized is, I need this Nderitu Murithi, Kavogo, Peter Kenneth, Mwangi Iria. I need these fellows to replace the young tax because his project with the young tax has flopped. The other issue is deflating Kalonzo Rigathi alliance. Do you know the statement that Rigathi made in Ukambani? It was not taken lightly. And I can tell you that it sent shockwaves in Statehouse. Rigathi has already gone and has endorsed Kalonzo Musyoka, and is telling Kalonzo Musyoka, I'm looking for 10 million votes for you. Kikuyus both studying in Mount Kenya and those in Nairobi and other places to vote for Kalonzo Musyoka. And if you listen to what Rigathi is saying, the only agenda that Mount Kenya is saying is, we want to remove President Ruto. And Ruto knows this. When they want to remove, when they want to punish, it is not going to be turn out as usual. Mount Kenya turned out in its numbers to punish and torture Raila Odinga that we can vote for Uhuru Kenyatta. And he understands this. So he knows very well that if these fellows, Mwangi wa Iria and Peter Kenneth, are left there idle, they are more likely to join in that alliance by Kalonzo and Rigathi. And in fact, Ruto knows that that Kalonzo-Rigathi axis, to at the opportune time, Uhuru Kenyatta might likely come to support that move. Now that reminds me something. I did say in this podcast, William Ruto appointments is not, those names are not forwarded to him by Uhuru Kenyatta. And someone should challenge me and give me an answer. If Uhuru Kenyatta is the person that is still forwarding the names of Mount Kenya luminaries to join the government, why is it that Uhuru Kenyatta is only seeing Kikuyu access? I can tell you, if William Ruto is making calls to Uhuru Kenyatta to give him names, you would have seen the likes of Matiang'i there. Now by this time you would have seen the likes of Jeremiah Kioni who are idle there. William Ruto is reaching to these guys individually, and without no time, and within some time, by 2027, if the likes of Peter Kenneth will have political ambitions, you will see them having mass exodus, doing mass exodus from the Ruto administration. And that point, it will be very embarrassing for him. Ruto is taking these people, rushing them to government, because Rigathi Gachagua is taking negotiations and negotiating with Mount Kenya so that they can coalesce around that alliance. The other issue is Ruto wants to create a center of power, an alternative center of power. And these are two options available. You can see these fellows now attending meetings that Uhuru Kenyatta is having and trying to fix meeting with the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, or rather coalesce around an individual that William Ruto wants to name as the running mate. These fellows being brought, Ruto might not even pick Kindiki, but he might bring the Mount Kenya access in government, and by the time they're seeking running mate, he picks amongst them. And now he understands that if you only have Raila access are going to take credit that we have stabilized the government and you need to give us the running mate position. So this is all mere politics. And one of the factors he's putting on table is contestation for the running mate slot. I did analyze here. The Kithure Kindiki I saw talking yesterday in that interview is not a Kithure Kindiki that really wants to speak, that really wants to challenge, is going to put a challenge for the running mate position. So he wants to create a center of power. Probably if all these people come together, you will now see a meeting of Mount Kenya axis in government, and then create a caucus. From that caucus, they're going to now start lobbying for the running mate. And Ruto can say that probably now they're in government. The other issue is to also bolster the grand coalition that Ruto is forming. There is a coalition talk of government of national unity. So all these fellows are being brought together. One thing the electorate, I need to remind the electorate now, is all this is not for the interest of bottom-up economic transformation agenda. all these appointments are mere political gimmick by the president, and William Ruto is in serious panic. I will not be shocked if tomorrow William Ruto is picking Dorcas Rigathi for a government position, or tomorrow is picking, even an MP around the president, around Rigathi Gachagua, or the last person he will go for is Rigathi Gachagua himself, because the reality has dawned on him. You cannot get that re-election is not guaranteed, and I can tell you with this development in my next podcast what Raila Axis really thinks about it. Welcome to the Bold Analysis. Thank you guys. I'm back. Team Bold Network. Asanteni sana. I'm back to Watamu. This is Edison.
Yeah.
And Harrison. Yes, so I'm just going to give all of them, both of them, to acknowledge the work we have done. They're going to give so much of what we're going to do apart from the house. This was the model of the wheelchair that we are doing. So this has already been brought. This is the first one. So pale wanaweka hizi vitu za kukando inaekwa. So ya hii iko somewhere there. This is the model wheelchair, the ones that we are designing. So after they're done with this, then another one is going to be brought. But already they have these ones. Now, Harrison, tuambie mambo nyumba imefika aje na umekuwa namna gani?
The house is completed, but still they work hard. They work to make sure they paint the house inside, and then we say thank you for the supporters, for supporting us to make us the house. Nashukuru Mungu sana kwa hii nyumba ambayo mmenisaidia kujenga. Tulikuwa hatuna mahali kwa kulala na kuishi, lakini tunashukuru kwa msaada ambao mmetufanyia. Yani tunashukuru, mmejengwa. Sasa bado mafuta naendelea tu kupaka rangi humo ndani, yani kupaka rangi humo ndani kumalizia hiyo nyumba. Alafu pia tunaomba msaada wa choo, yani choo tuchimbie pia hiyo choo, manake tutashukuru sana kwa huo msaada yani.
So guys, this issue of the choo, there's already a toilet here, but it's a very filthy state, and kwa sababu wao hawezi scroll through, we already discussed with them. They are going to point out where we can do the chore. So immediately after Christmas, that is the next thing we will come back here to do. Josh is doing the work. Josh, tuambie nyumba umefikisha wapi bana? Umechukua muda sana, but tuambie umefikisha wapi and what is remaining.
Okay, thank you. My name is Joshua. Nimekuwa nikisimama hapa kusimamia hii ujenzi. Nashukuru sana for the support. By now, if you see the outside, we have painted, and now we are going on to accomplish the inside part of the house. And the only thing that the main only thing that is remaining is just to paint the inside. And after plaster. Yes, plaster we have finished. Only small finishing we are doing there. And the only thing that is remaining, the main thing is to paint the inside, so that the house can at least shine. So I'm also appreciating so much for your support, and may God bless you for supporting the two brothers who could not afford to have their own house, and now at least they are well relieved. And thank you very much for this organization. I'm so much pleasant, and I'm so much comfortable and happy for your support. Thank you very much.
You're going to do cash transfer. Yeah, Edison, yeah, umesema biashara ni ya?
Ya kuuza njugu.
Kuuza njugu. So you're going to support that, kuuza njugu. And yako ni ya?
Yangu ni ya kuuza ice cream. Yes, ice cream.